Before I moved down here, I heard about the recovery community and how strong it is. I got an interstate compact through my probation and was able to fly down here, and I came straight into treatment.
People go to residential, and residential treatment centers are beautiful. They're out in the middle of nowhere, and it's quiet, and sometimes they have horses, and they're surrounded by trees, and it's peaceful, and people can get comfortable and get sober. 4 to 6 weeks being in residential, and then they come home where their neighbor's dog is barking all night, and they get in an argument with someone they loved, and their boss is breathing down their neck at work, and they have a fender bender at the grocery store. And then they drive home past their favorite liquor store or past their favorite drug dealer, and it's really hard to stay sober when you get back to your community. And that's why we purposefully chose this space, so that when people are in treatment during the day, they go home at night and put their head on their own pillow in their own house with their family and their dog. But when they come to the treatment program, it still feels like residential here because we're removed from everything else. So you have your counselor, you have your community, you have your group therapy and individual therapy, and the doctors are here. Everything that would be in a residential program, it's peaceful. And then you go home, so that when something's not perfect, and nothing ever is, right? You have a good, solid, professional treatment outpatient center. And it's nice to balance the professional aspects of recovery that are required with the real-life nitty-gritty aspects of recovery. A professional recovery treatment center really has two main big focuses. One is the individual, and the second is the family leading to the community. So a professional recovery center will always have individual sessions, individual counselors working with one individual toward that person's goals and challenges. But at the same time, there's community in the groups, community in the therapy, community in the environment, and with the families. So professional treatment centers will also work with families because the family is the big support block for any individual who's working toward recovery. And then we take that family and bring the family into the community as well. And it makes for a more robust environment for everyone.
So when they walk through the door, we've got a really brief window to do something because people really get the courage to take action against their addiction, and that window closes really quickly. So if they meet any resistance or it becomes difficult or harrowing whatsoever, they're gone. And you missed that window, and you might have missed the opportunity to save that person's life. So there are a lot of reasons that people don't seek help with their addiction.
So the first time I was introduced to Los Patios was when I was still in inpatient treatment, and we would come once or twice a week to CA or AA meetings here, and it just really helped me get out of my shell. You know, I had a lot of social anxiety, and I was new to the city. I didn't know anybody. I was starting my life over, you know? So just being able to slowly fill that void and that emptiness, meeting new people and sharing our similar experiences, it really helps. This is one of the first places I call when I have a friend in need. Los Patios is always on my list of people to call. Even if they don't refer me somewhere here, they have the resources, either in the state, out of the state, any level of care you need. They know where to send you.
People come in for different reasons, right? A lot of times it's, I'm here because I'm about to lose my job, I've already lost my family, my children are being taken away from me, whatever's happening, I have to be here. Some people come in because their family wants them to come in, and some people actually just say, I've been thinking about it a long time, and my use is no longer fun, it's now destroying my life, and I need to make a change.
Going from a state of addiction to a state of sobriety is an arduous process. So whatever causes people to start the behavior isn't necessarily why they maintain the behavior. So is it, I started off partying and then it became a lifestyle, or I'm trying to deal with some trauma and this is how I do it, or any other things. I have chronic pain and this is how I deal with it. I've got mental health issues and this is how I help cope with it. I've got anxiety, whatever the issue is. I may start using a substance for one reason, become addicted to it, and then the mollification of that initial symptom or the positive reinforcement of that initial reason aren't necessarily there. It's the fear of withdrawal that keeps me using.
No one's using or drinking anymore because it's Friday night and they're having fun. At this point, it's how to make it through the day. It's how to survive, and it's usually how to survive and help other people with something, whether it's work or home. So it's scary and challenging to give up the substance that's been carrying you along for a very long time.
I was raised in a house where people wouldn't expect me to be a drug addict, you know. My sister grew up fine, and my parents were very surprised at my rebellion. So it lasted throughout my teenage years and spread through my adult life as well. And I was a functioning heroin addict for many years. I owned my own business and had my own place, had a car, you know, so I didn't think I had a problem. That's one of the hardest parts, is actually coming to terms that you have a problem. I was one of those addicts who I didn't really use to get high, maybe in the beginning, but it was mainly to escape my reality. I didn't like my reality. I knew I was an addict for a long time, and honestly, that didn't really help me. Like, I was like, okay, I'm an addict, this is who I am. You know, I kind of just accepted it. When my mom got sick with cancer, I did try to get clean. That was also a harsh reality to face, and still something I'm working on, you know. But she is my main motivation today. I try to strive to be more like her, but I wasn't able to get clean before my mom died.
It's important for folks to know that their life doesn't, although it has to change greatly, effort put into the change, and you have to have your community and your family and friends supporting you and also putting in change. There are things you can do to still stay engaged. There's more to gain than be lost from recovery, and that's, I think, one of the major steps, is when people feel like, well, if I get sober and I'm in recovery from addiction, I'm going to gain a lot. The only thing I'm losing is the drug or the alcohol or both, but I'm gaining independence, self-determination. I might get my family back. I'm gaining everything that happens at work, everything that happens in my community. There's so much more to gain from recovery than to lose. And once that acknowledgement is made, then we're good.
I've been here 3 years. 3 years this month, yeah. And I have a year sober, so I didn't get it the first time, but because of the recovery community here and the support that I have, I was able to come back and trust the people around me with sharing my deepest emotions and how I was really feeling, and knowing that they would have the outlets that I would need for help. Today I work a 12-step program. I go to a few meetings a week. I have a sponsee. If you're looking for peace and serenity, then Los Patios is the place to come.
The Los Patios Foundation exists to support upstream initiatives, providing events that are sober and free and open to the public, but also providing scholarships for people in need. For our purposes, the Los Patios Foundation exists for everyone. It's not one particular group of people. Yes, of course, it's toward people in recovery, because there's a safe 18-acre space to come if you're in recovery and hang out in. But everyone can come, where you can actually see where your support goes, and you can come out and visit, and you can talk with anyone at any time and know exactly where it's going is important. And come participate. And I encourage everyone who does participate in sponsoring or supporting an organization geared toward treatment and recovery to truly come out and see for yourself the impact that you're making.